the people that are around you, like I know that you mentioned that you're in Brighton, I'm in the city, but like when I was up in Gold Coast, living up there for a bit, you know what I got pulled into very much so was fitness. Everyone around me is fitness. Everybody's out running, everybody looks fit, etc. So the environment was just infectious. And so if you're in an environment with people who are crushing it, and Brighton's a great example of this, like, do you reckon that there's the network in Brighton versus like somewhere that's quite a few hours away? Like if you're going to a cafe, what kind of people are you going to run into? You're going to be running into other people who are similar aspirations, similar views.
So this isn't a guess for me. Like I actually lived here many years ago and like it was a massive enhancement on business in all honesty, like and opportunity. I couldn't believe what a difference it made to live in an area where there was, again, key thing, more people doing and achieving the things that I want to achieve with my life. Yeah. And so when I put myself into that environment, like I got massive wins in that area. So this is more like I knew the opportunity cost was real and existed based on prior experience, which is why I was so for doing it again.
Yeah. And the thing that I always look at is like, well, what's the risk? And so the risk is like, obviously if you move out of a place and sell a house and buy a new place in a new area and things like that, like the risk is obviously a bit high because, hey, if you don't like it, you're going to have to try and sell a house, etc. But like for Hazel and I, like we lived in Rosemary in Sydney, we did Gold Coast, we did Noosa just to see what it was like. We lived out of Airbnbs and got short-term rentals just to see what it was like. I don't know. Maybe I love Sydney, maybe I love Gold Coast. And so for people listening, like, what's the worst thing that could happen, Charlie? Like imagine you see this and you're like, oh, well, actually, and I don't think this is going to be happen. Actually, this is a backward step. This didn't open the opportunities. It's actually a worse environment and it actually didn't happen. Okay, move again. Like it's not, these things aren't cemented in. They're not there forever, right? Like you can reverse this. You can go another area. You can go and move. So it's like, okay, sure, it's a little bit of frustration with moving kids to different schools and moving partners. And maybe if your partner works like physically in a spot, like you have to consider these areas. But the risk versus reward ratio is so much more in the pros column than there is in the cons column. That's for sure.
Wholeheartedly agree. And I'll even go further into your point there. It's like it's that high bar again of moving it. I think the biggest risk, in my case anyway, was like partner unhappiness. So I think the thing is like pretend this, me moving to Brighton was a really good thing for me and my life suddenly gets awesome. But if your partner, her or whoever your partner's is, life degrades, so that would be a risk that I think you really have to consider. Now, I don't think that's going to happen in my circumstance, but that is something I would wait if I was looking at that decision. But I really want to jump into this next point though, because I know we've got other topics to cover. So this is like we've pretty much opened up with the idea of talking about, curating your surroundings, making sure you're in an environment where you have the chance of being successful, being near people that are doing and achieving the things you want to achieve. Like if I wanted to be a fitness influencer, I would move to the Gold Coast because that's where it is.
I'd tell everybody to as well.
Yeah. But the next point here, and this is like I had a bit of a like sobering moment, I won't lie. One of the things when I was thinking about why moving to seize this opportunity would be a really good thing was that, right now I'm the one making decisions, or I should say me and Bianca are the ones making decisions about what Jack's opportunities are. So like we're about to put Jack into kinder and I'm like, this is Jack's first mastermind. Right? He's going to be influenced by the other kids. He's going to make friends. He's going to be around their parents. He's going to be around all these things. And I'm like, am I putting Jack into the best possible environment for him to be successful or the best opportunity? I can't guarantee his success. Right? I'm not trying to force an agenda or view on him. But like as a parent, I think that you sit there and you go, we all want the best for our kids. We all want to do the things that we can to give them the best shot at becoming the best they can in life, whatever that looks like. And I had to ask myself, I'm like, am I doing that or am I taking the comfortable, easy option of being around family right now? And I really kind of hit me, I won't lie. This is one, when you have those moments and it's like, whoa, kind of like you step back for a second.
Yeah.
And I came to the conclusion that I was taking the easy path based on family. And again, I love my family dearly. I'm not against them, rather than what might be the best opportunity for Jack to succeed. And I'm also, this is the second level of that, is anyone who's got kids will tell you they don't do what you tell them to do, they do what you do.
Yeah.
So if Jack sees dad taking it easy, getting it comfortable, not forcing himself to grow, not winning in business, and really shaping up to do the best he can in life. Well, is Jack going to follow suit?
Yep.
So I was like, and when that was in, I was like, that's it, we're moving.
We're up. Let's rip up these roots. Let's leave. It was to that point, funnily enough, like thinking about moving for Jack, and if you guys potentially have another child in the future, like I was even talking to a guy that I went through university, and I studied entrepreneurship, so he's another business owner who lives in the same town that I actually grew up in, and my mum is a teacher of said town, so I introduced them. And interestingly enough, he cared so much about the school as being a mastermind for his child that he was interviewing 5 different schools in the area just to make sure that his child went to the right school. Because to your point, the area that you're surrounded in, you just need to make sure you are curating the best environment for the kids to grow up in. And so they went that step further where he thought he was in the area for the best for him and his opportunities. And he's like, now I just don't want to just slap a school that's like super close to us. I'm going to find the best one for my child to make sure that they are going where they should be going.
Right. So how much do you believe environment counts here? Like I honestly believe people can be successful in any environment, but it really seems like this is an easy win for a lot of people. Like how would you weight it, environment as a factor versus, let's say, genetics?
Yeah, it is interesting because the overused cliche is that we're made up of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with, or the 5 people closest to us in our network. And I see that environment is really that. Like in a previous episode, we spoke about partners who's like one of those 5. But the surrounding yourself with is not just a friend that you had in high school that you talk to like once every 3 months. It's who do you continually catch up with? Who do you talk about those deep things? And I always find the proximity creates the conversations because you're going to catch up with them for dinner because it's not laborsome. You and I can have a phone call and be like, hey, do you want to do dinner? We're like, yep, cool, no worries at all. And 10 minutes later, we're having dinner. Right, where if you're outside of that proximity, like as much as people have done it over the last couple of years with shared dinners over Zoom calls, they're just not the same.
It's not the same.
So having the coffee, having the dinner, having all of those things, I think that is the key part that I will add to my weighting. But I believe that being comfortable with being uncomfortable to create that environment around you is just as important as having a partner that supports you in your business journey and investment journey, because you are looking around you as the basis of the possibility of success. Like you're sitting in Brighton, one of the most expensive suburbs in Victoria, I will argue, and you're walking around seeing other highly successful people. Like if you are not at the similar level, you will be asking, hey, like how did you get there? What are you doing? You'll always have that drive. You'll always have that reminder, that thing to say, hey, I am uncomfortable here because I'm not at the same level. So I'm going to start pushing.
Did see a new Lambo yesterday. Did see
of course, it's probably your next door neighbor. But this is the thing, right?
It's not about. It's not about the cars, right? It's not about the cars. Always don't want to put that in, but it is ironic nonetheless.
But how many? So here we go. How many property investors or people who have got businesses or otherwise do you think exist in Brighton versus a rural Victorian sort of town?
Yeah, significant. It'd be 10x compared to where I was.
Hey, fellow business owner, if this topic and value-packed short video has resonated with you at all and you want to dive deeper into being a full stack business owner, check out the full episode by clicking the link on your screen or in the description right now.